Hey friends, I'm on a road called Commercial Street or Commercial Road in London. I'm wearing my rig, so I'm hopeful that the wind isn't coming through too strong for you. Actually, you can see the rig just there, can't you? Yeah, it's just poking into my field of view. I'll hold off for a little while just to say hello. Oh, lumberjack. Hey, how you going, mate? Look, what kind of what kind of propaganda is this? Are we God? The Creator? I have to say, this is really unusual. What I thought I would do is try and catch a few people's attention. Maybe I'll get a chance to say hello to one or two people. But the thing is, right? That's obviously fairly familiar scenes for people who know London. Hey Nathan, how you going, mate? There's fairly familiar scenes for people who know London. That's the Gherkin and other buildings in the sort of city of London. You know, that place you all know about, that place where the banking cartel seems to rule the world from. Oh, I wonder if the old Bill will want to stop by and say hi. But what happened, right? I'm doing a job now, driving this van, and the van broke down. The van broke down on me right now. Half an hour ago, I've managed to find one of those breakdown services that'll come and have a look at me. But I'm going to be a while. So I thought, you know what, this is the universe saying, Dave, go and do something with this rig of yours. Go and talk to some people, do something with your time. I'm on a busy London road. I'm next to a church, but then again, when are you not next to a church? I put a video on earlier on of a church in Spitalfields, like near Liverpool Street. Staggering church called Christ Church. It's one of the franchises, Christ Church, and just such an excellent mud flood victim type thing. And Oli, the flat Earth British sub friend of mine, he's been making a whole lot of comments. So I'm blaming him for making me go live. No, it's not down to him, but you know, I've got to take this opportunity to do something with my time now, and let's see. I mean, maybe we can have a conversation. People are sometimes a little camera shy, man. People say sometimes a little camera shy. Actually, there's a guy who's camera shy who said, if you look into one of my last videos, he gave some really interesting information about a water fast that he's doing. So go and look into that if that's something that you're interested in. Now this, by the way, is going to be seen by a lot of people. I know that tomorrow morning when the builder's here, I assume there's maybe this is not an ongoing building site. This could sit here. This could sit here for a little while. This could stay here for a little while. In which case, a lot of people will read this question of mine. If Earth is flat, are we creator? God, Allah, all, everything. Are we the creator? You know, I asked this question, I know it offends some religious folks, but I asked this question not because I'm trying to be arrogant with this idea at all. It's the most humbling concept I can kind of think of really now. Not that we are the Most High, as it were, but that we are, you know, immediately of the Most High, that the Most High, if you like, the Creator, the whatever, nature, universe, whatever, sent us here to have this wonderful experience, and or this beautiful experience, or this learning encounter, this learning experience. And I'm offering, have you seen this? Have you read this? She's too studded up to be concerned about that. I'm offering this idea out because it's quite controversial, and it's obviously, if you think, well, not obviously, but if you think about what the religious orders keep trying to tell us, then it sort of smacks of it still smacks of some kind of diminishment agenda, you know, like, as I've said before, I'm not worthy but to gather up the crumbs from under your table. That kind of phraseology was phraseology that I used a lot as a youngster when I was getting my indoctrination. Before I went on camera, someone came and asked me what that word means. Indoctrination. Government education equals indoctrination. You are divine. You know, that's even the bad guys, you know. That's the crazy thing about this, is that even the dark is divine in a weird kind of way, you know. Not that I'm looking to be blowing smoke up the dark's arse, as it were, but you know, it is the case that it's a yin yang. It's the Pepsi logo. I saw the Pepsi logo the other day. I thought, shit, that's the yin yang. I was in this church earlier today, as I mentioned just now, and they have on at the altar, they have this picture of a lightning bolt striking the cross of the religion. It's quite noisy here. Yeah, I do apologize for the background sound. I don't know if people are going to stop and chat to me, but I know that a lot of people are already spotting it from the traffic when they stop at the traffic here. If Earth is flat, I mean, it's an interesting point. Hey, I'm kind of moving the conversation beyond the Earth might be flat to if the Earth is flat, the Earth that we know. So, you know, that what we can perceive. I don't want to drag this on. I'm sure you got better things to do with your time than listen to me mumble on about the potentiality of the Earth being flat. We kind of know all of that. But I would love to have a conversation with someone. I'm feeling like I didn't get out on Sunday, and you know, it's just nice to be able to have the opportunity to talk to people. See, it's interesting again. This pub. I wonder if it has a basement, because you have to step well off. You have to step up. Oh yeah, look. What do you know? What do you know? The telltale signs of a basement floor, a subfloor. Did you notice my writing here? Did you notice that?
Yeah.
What if it's true? You might be the most important thing here. That wasn't very smooth. I have to work on that. Well, I've tagged this little part of London. I might try and find somewhere where I'm more likely to have a conversation on the quiet with someone. Oh, while I'm here, I should say hello to some friends Yeah, well, Nathan, you're always very supportive. Thanks, mate. I have got my glasses here, but I'm not wearing them right now. Did I bring them in my pocket? I did. My van is the van that I'm driving is broken down just around the corner, so I've got to keep an eye out for the thing. Foot Soldier for Flat Earth Truth asked me, am I Brexit or Remain? My friend, all of the Brexit is Remain or stay or go or whatever it is. It's all that dialectic, isn't it? It's all choose a side, in or out, and there's good reasons for both. Really, you can argue both ways, and in fact, they've done a fantastic job of dividing people, families, friends. A bit like Flat Earth, but they've done a good job of dividing people between those that see the value of staying in a European club and those that want out. But really, I think the meta argument is really about softening people up for the sort of the unelected mega government, the mega control. They call it the one world government, don't they? But so that there's a little club where there's 5 or 6 people that sit around the table and they represent the world's, people, as it were. I think that's something that they're still working on, and this Brexit thing, it's all been fluffed up. I mean, at the end of the day, right? If you and I were to decide, we're in different places, and we were to decide we would do business with each other, then that should be all that's required. But what they've done is they've conflated the need for tariffs and borders and so I try not to get involved in the debate, because one thing is for sure: whatever the agenda is, whether they want to stay in, go out, whether it doesn't matter, whether because they've got a bigger play out coming forward. Well, to me, that's going to unfold. What will my personal journey is? Do I get myself vexated about it? Do I get upset about it? Do I one way or the other? And this is what I think it does: is it pulls you from you. It pulls you out of yourself. And of course, there's that thing about people continually are arguing for government or against, but for government. So it's like, oh no, we'll have government, but we'll have less government. You know what I mean? So even if you're a leaver, and you're arguing for leave, then you're arguing for a version of government. You're still in the squabble for a giving away of your sovereignty, and that's the clever thing about it, is that they'll pull you into that kind of argument where you're a sovereign being, that government is corrupt, that they've robbed us of so much, and yet because you dislike the Brexit thing so much, you will argue, you will get in the fight, you will join the ring, you'll get in the ring. So I'm trying to stay out of the ring, my friend, on that. I had a phone call come in there from the people. They're just selling slow at the moment. So, oh yeah, I don't remember who wrote the graffiti. I didn't see anything about that. Yeah, I don't know anything about that. Yeah, you that guys. Sorry about that. There was a phone call from the same people again. I'd cut the call off a little soon, I guess. Nathan, that was very nice of you to say that, by the way. If you're still there, you still want out. Yeah, I mean, like, okay, I agree with that. I think obviously less is better when it comes to. Am I live? Yeah, I don't know if you can hear me now, but less government is better, and the closer you can get the sort of community management to the people, the better. I think that's a fair thing to say. And obviously, if we're against one world government, or we're against big government, and we're against the system as it is, then you want that, hey? But I don't want to fight over it. Oh, whoa, someone's taking a picture of my work. Let me see if I can get a conversation with him. That'd be cool. That would be cool. Hello, mate. Would you mind if I ask you a question about this?
Yes.
I wrote this on the wall, so I'm just interested why do you find that interesting, this idea?
I was going to ask you why is the relation with the two concepts? Why Earth is flat?
Do you mind if I film you? I've got a YouTube channel. Got about 10 people watching at the moment.
I'd rather not be filmed.
I'll film me then. I can turn it around and face me. Your question again is how do we know that if it's flat?
I don't care if we know or not. Are you filming me?
No, I'm filming me.
Okay.
Not me.
I don't care if it's true or no. I don't see why two concepts are related.
The two concepts, flat Earth and are we God? Because sorry about that. So in the Bible, for example, it says that the Earth is motionless. Like when I was a youngster, I said to my preacher, I said, the Bible says the Earth is flat. And so if the Bible was saying that the Earth is flat, and then science has come along and said, oh, no, Earth is not flat, it's a globe, it's spinning in space, you're small, insignificant, then perhaps if it is flat, it means that we're not small and we're not insignificant. And that fact, perhaps we might be like the center of the creation. Earth might be all that there is, and it might be that it was designed with you and me as its main subjects. I'm still filming me. See?
Okay, no worries.
It might be that you and me are its main subject, or we are the main reason. But through science and religion, what they've done is they've made us feel small. They've made us insignificant. They've made us into monkeys that happen to through evolution, turn into smart men and women.
I don't see that. I don't see a relation. I mean, what do you think about mirrors in the moon?
How do you know there's mirrors on the moon?
You can see them.
How?
You know what's the Lunar Laser Ranging Experiment?
The
LRR experiment.
I'm not sure I know that one.
To measure the distance between Earth and the moon, the first landing on the moon put mirrors in there.
Yes.
So if you point a laser powerful enough in a specific point in the moon, it can reflect.
I've heard that.
There are mirrors in there.
Yes, I know about that actually. I've thought about that quite a bit, but you and I can't actually prove that those mirrors are there.
Why a small thing could? If we are so small, why can't we do that?
Okay, well, here's a thought for you on the laser thing. Like the military, when it comes to lasers, the military have got the most powerful equipment on Earth. The American military particularly has got the most powerful equipment on Earth, and they've got a laser that they can use to fire. They can shoot at a target, point at a target, up to 100 miles away. Okay, they got a laser that can shoot it up to 100 miles. Now, how is it that the military can only shoot 100 miles, but NASA can shoot 250,000 miles? Wavelength.
Yeah.
That doesn't answer that question, because for me,
it do answer the question.
Don't you think though, if the military, if NASA had a wavelength or a laser that was that powerful, they would be able to use that for military purposes too?
There is a difference between something being powerful enough to puncture something and being powerful enough to reach somewhere. I can reach somewhere but not being powerful enough to penetrate it, but it's powerful enough to reach and go. I mean, what you are saying basically is if the military can have something so powerful, can say subwoofer, so powerful that can make sound powerful enough to damage the ear of someone, why scientists cannot make sounds that can be heard in Canary Wharf? They can. You can have sounds that do that. There is a difference between something being powerful enough to have a physical effect and being powerful enough to reach.
Well,
A
you see,
wavelength is because things
Okay.
got absorbed in wavelength,
okay.
and you need to go through atmosphere, which is different than go through people.
Okay, so if we've got telescopes, tens of millions. If we got telescopes that can see tens of millions of miles away, would you think it would be reasonable for a guy like me to say, well, then can we not put a telescope on Earth that can look at the moon and see those mirrors?
We don't.
But I've never found that. So I'm going to offer you something to think about, because obviously, 4 years ago, I believed everything about NASA. I thought we went to the moon. I believed in the space shuttle program. Absolutely. As a young kid, I really loved watching the space shuttle program. But think about it critically. If they're using a laser for targeting a ship across the sea at 100 miles, okay, the only way that they can reach the ship is for the signal to bounce back, for their machinery to reach it, to read it, right?
You don't need
So-
you don't need to get the laser back if you are sinking a ship. You just need to reach the ship. That's it.
No, but for my machines to know that I'm hitting a target, I have to get a bounce back. You see, that's how these things work, is that they get a signal.
For the military use, it's very simple. Just shoot the ship sinks. What more feedback do you need?
Okay, so while we're on water, let's talk about the curving of water. Do you know that if we live on a ball 24,000 miles in circumference, there should be a curve of water? The wall should bend at about 8 inches per mile squared, which means that over 100 miles, there should be some 80,000 inches of curvature. Okay, but if the laser is shooting across a straight line, yeah, and bouncing back a straight line, then where's the curvature in that formula? Well, as I just described, the American, like a fact. For example,
So pointing a laser to the moon and getting the laser back only if I point to a specific point in the moon.
well, you know how that works, hey? They say they fire a laser, and then a machine says, beep, I've had a return. So you and I can't test that for ourselves. We have to trust that the machine was made by people who are honest and not deceiving. But when you start to look at the moon landing and realize that there's no way that they could have achieved what they achieved, because the lunar lander, it never worked on Earth. The lunar lander, they go up to the moon a 250,000 miles away, and they've never tested the lunar lander to work on Earth, and yet they're going to try and pull that off up in space. When you look at there's documentaries that a guy called Bart Chabrel has done, where you look at the size of the hatch that they have to climb out. The hatch that they climb out on the lunar lander is bigger than the man when he's wearing his backpack. And when it comes to the current science, right, the current spacewalks, we find that there's water bubbles rising up from the astronauts' helmets. We find that a year ago or 2 years ago, one of the astronauts nearly drowned because his suit, while he was doing a spacewalk, filled with water. We find that they've never done this. They've never done a 360-degree pan with a camera while in a spacewalk. Now, when you and I, if we were to get the great opportunity to go up into space, we probably wouldn't, because we're not in the military and we're not Freemasons. But if we did, you and I would both want to show our family how we did crazy somersaults, silly things in space that no man could possibly do here on Earth. But when you go and look at that critically, you'll find that they never really do that. They never, they look like they're doing, like Tim Peake, when he went up there, he did an interview on Channel 4. It's on YouTube. You can still find it. He did a YouTube interview, and he looks like he's on wires. He looks like a man just doing a circus trick where he goes head over heels and does this flip. He does this flip, head over heels. And so when you start to really unpick it and look at it critically, there's a documentary called "A Funny Thing Happened on the Way to the Moon." My friend, you watch that documentary and you will see footage. Trinity 4.
What's it about?
Haven't I seen you at Speaker's Corner?
No.
No.
What's it about?
So about that the government, the number 4
YouTube, yeah.
on YouTube, and what I'm looking into is whether actually
I have to
physics of water is it's always level. I'm still filming me. It's always level. The physics of water is always level. If I give you a cup, level. A little bit of meniscus, yeah, surface tension. But a cup, a bath, a swimming pool, a lake, Always level.
Level or not, I'm going to get that flat final in time.
Water. 70% on Earth is water. Some days I'm not as smooth as other days. This might be one of those days. I hope that was enjoyable for you. Over there is Canary Wharf. You can see the sticking out the top there. Sorry about the poor signalage. If you're there still. Oh, good. Yeah, I got some dodgy signal going on now. But at least I've had a conversation. But a science guy is never going to want to, you know what I mean? And this is why I had a bit of a rant, didn't I, the other day, about people banging on about the $52 million a day, the NASA thing, because you see, what they're not willing to do is realize or accept that it's much bigger than just a money grab or a prison planet, as Alex, the CIA guy Jones, would have us believe. You know, it's much more than that. And you know, for a guy who myself, I was an atheist, full-fat, hard-boiled atheist. I considered myself to be just 5 years ago, and you know, so I've had to kind of come all the way around with this. That actually, shit, there is every likelihood that we are. Of course, I had the DMT experience, but there's every likelihood that we are meant to be the masters of the space, or at least we're meant to now know. We're meant to be beginning to learn that we are the masters of this place, and if we know that and we start to kind of live our lives better, be better people, then actually in fullness of time, you know, we don't need Brexit, we don't need government, because we are our own. You know, we control our own mind. We don't need someone else to govern our mental. We don't need. I have the microphone pointing away from me, and it's not as straightforward just to turn it around. So I hope my audio is coming through okay, guys. But yeah, I mean, I was talking about. All right, mate. I was talking about how, you know, when you see broken people, doesn't your heart kind of go, shit, we need to do something? Let's see. What can I do with this? Fake. Space. How's my signal? Am I coming through all right? See, actually, seeing this bus makes me think about a couple of the bus drivers having a little read. A couple of the movies that are out at the moment make you wonder about whether we're not getting signals. There's one, you know, the Stephen King movie, It. I think this latest movie is called Ends. So they've got all these billboards around London going, It ends. So there's a lot of interesting stuff going on. Oh man, I could have had that scientist a little bit more thoughtful. I am a little bit out of practice. It takes a little bit of time. NASA, fake space. Huh. Isn't that interesting? I'm on Commercial Road, one of the main arteries out of or into London. It's called the A13. It's a sort of east wing, if you like, of the London's main roads in and out. And if you didn't hear me say this earlier on, I'm here because I was meant to be doing a pickup of a whole kitchen full of food, and the van broke down on me. The van broke down on me. Oh, I'll tell you what, I've had such a story with this van. I had a windshield replaced the other day because it got cracked. I've had 3 penalty charges in the last 2 weeks or so, and of course I can't really avoid paying them because it belongs to this company, this van. It's not me. I wouldn't bother, but I'm going to put water levels. Globe is a lie, deception. The globe is total deception. Rocks don't float. Float. Yeah, thanks for stopping by. I'm not as jacked up as the Globe Light Tour guys. I hope you're giving them a little support. It's great to see people out there doing it, as it were. Let's see. People are really funny. Like they seem to think that a dude like me standing with a camera is gonna. I mean, it's only when you start doing this you realize how tiny per view we have. You know, I'm not the BBC. If I was the BBC, I would be able to generate millions of views, and that person would probably go, or his friends would go, "Oh, I saw you on the BBC, mate." There's a very, 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 very high likelihood that no one he knows will ever see this video. Extremely high likelihood. The Earth is flat, my friends. The Earth is flat. I do get a lot of attention for the Earth is flat phrase. You know, I think it really catches people's attention. That's why it's such a trigger. It's a trigger phrase, and it does get people, even if we don't like it, even if we don't want to talk in terms of what the Earth is. Did I tell you, if you're new to this stream now, my van broke down. I'm waiting for the pickup services or the repair guys to come, and they're going to take a while. So I thought I would do a little stream and see what I could do with it, man. See if something comes up. Yeah. Hi guys, all right. Have you looked at this? Have you looked into the flat Earth theory? Have you heard that people are talking about it now? Okay. Are you local? Are you from Spain or somewhere? Italia. Oh, I was there 2016. Well, I got a little YouTube channel. Yeah, I'm just I got 20 people watching me on my YouTube channel right now. Hello.
Hi guys.
Hello.
Hi guys.
Hi. Hi. My name's Dave, and I got a channel called Trinity 4. And I found out, I'm 50 years old, right? I found out 4 years ago that, firstly, I found out that 9/11 wasn't done by the Muslims, like it was done by the government. Have you come across that idea before? Do you mind if I film you? Because you guys look really good for my channel, huh? Yeah. And I found out that 9/11 was probably done by the deep state. Do you know what I mean by that? It means like the CIA, Black Ops, dark operations. You know what I mean? Because there's no way that 19 Muslim dudes with box cutters could have overpowered all of those planes and destroyed and that whole multi-trillion-dollar security industry, the Pentagon and all of that sort of stuff. That was my first wake-up call to go, shit, what I've learned from the BBC may not be all true. Then I found out that there was a formula for the curvature of the Earth. You know, because we live on a ball, right? They say we live on a ball. Now that means that if I live on a ball, I should be able to measure how much the water goes down from England to France, yeah, or in the Mediterranean. If you go from the one side, say, to Italy, to Africa, or something like that, you should say, if I'm standing in Italy and I'm looking to Africa, it should be below me by a certain amount. Now there's a formula, a maths formula that we were given by the scientists that says every mile that you go away from your position, it goes down by 8 inches, but the distance is squared. So after 10 miles, you've got 800 inches of curvature. Do you know what that means? Me, yeah, with a chalk. What does this mean? So I used to be an atheist. I didn't believe in God or anything like that, right? And a few years ago, I did like ayahuasca. Have you heard? No. I say that there is a God, but that we might be that God. That it might be us. That this might be our creation, and our entire government and education and religion and the Vatican and all of that has been designed to steal from us. Not only steal money, energy, and so on, but actually to steal the truth about who you are. My YouTube is called Trinity 4. Trinity 4. Good luck, guys. Good luck. All right. Trinity 4. Maybe I should write that on here. YouTube. What are they gonna do? You know? What can they do? This here is just some hoarding. You know. You can tell they're not really doing anything here at the moment. And this is nice. Is not a ball. I've been saying to the guys on tour, this is what they need. They need a little bit of I'm frozen. They need a little bit of I don't know if my audio is still coming through. They need a little bit of on the sidewalk. Sidewalk, I sound like an American. Hi guys, good evening. Sorry guys, the feed seems to have blocked. I don't know if that's happening for you, but can still hear me. Okay. Hey, Conrado, how? 007. Hello, mate. How are you? Yeah, why is this? You can't hear anything. Well, I don't know what. You don't. You think my view that JFK is a dummy is a bit suspect? Well, what? That? Well, I mean, you know, why not? Why do these people have to die if they've been acted? I mean, it's the same as what I say to people about Trump. If Trump was, if any of these people, if Saddam Hussein, if Muammar Gaddafi was a good guy, he was with us, as it were, the people, then that kind of stuff, they would buy a newspaper and just like tell people that, man. They would leaflet your country. But these guys are all in bed together. So let me see if I can just get my stream to refresh itself. 1 second.